As per request, this video is all about my favorite brushes. A lot of you started DMing me asking requests for videos, and this was one that really stood out. So feel free to keep them coming if you have other ideas of what you'd like to see. First and foremost, when it comes to applying your foundation, there's a couple ways you can do it. Your fingers actually are the best tools you can use because why? They're actually heated. They heat up the product. When you put foundation on the back of your hand, you warm it up and then it melts into the skin. Brushes don't have that capability. Someone can invent that and you can thank me later if you come up with it. If, however, you have acneic skin or any sort of like acne scarring, you're gonna wanna use a trusty beauty blender. This is one of my favorite tools to use. A lot of people use them dry and don't understand why they're not working. You have to run this under the sink, soak it, wring it out, and then start using it with your foundation on your skin in a dabbing motion. When it comes to using brushes for foundation, I would probably say beauty blender is my number one, fingers are number two, and then number three are these two brushes. This is actually the VIB Rouge brush from Sephora. I have two of them and I reach them all the time for clients. They really buff in the foundation really well and it does look airbrushed. The other one that I really like, it's also from Sephora. It's more of like a dome shape, but this is also good if you want to stipple your foundation on. I would say out of the two, they're both faves, but I would go for the Pro Flawless Airbrush brush. I haven't found one that's been as good to apply foundation. Cream contour is like a huge thing for me. I absolutely love doing it. I do it on all my clients. I usually take the product and I'll dip these brushes that I love into the actual product and then contour from there. What I like to use is the Morphe brush, and this is the G40 brush. This is probably my all-time favorite contour brush, but there's some others that compare. These are both from Real Techniques. The pink one is better for people that have a really petite face. If you've got a little bit of a fuller face, I'd say get rose gold colored one. Both excellent for blending out contour. And for cream highlight and also for creating more structure, this brush from MAC, it's the 197S, is excellent as well. For baking, if you're not into using sponges, this damp with a little bit of Fix Plus on it, patting it with your loose powder under the eye and sort of cutting your contour underneath it is a really great brush for baking as well. So this is a little tip from a makeup artist from me to you. So when it comes to setting the face and also blush, there's some brushes that stand out from the rest for me. I love this brush from NARS. The shape is beautiful. It actually disperses the product really nicely. The other two brushes that stand out as well is the Morphe M509 and also the MAC 187. They are incredible for applying blush. What I've noticed is that I don't like brushes that are too dense. These are extremely fluffy and they don't actually disperse too much product at once. I like to build my product when I'm doing makeup, so these allow me to do that and they don't take everything on right away. For powder brush, the Morphe R7, if you're looking for something for powdering loosely all over the face and also dispersed amount of bronzer on the face without it being very contoured. So when it comes to applying highlight, it's one of my favorite things to do on people's faces. I really couldn't choose just one of my favorite brushes. So I'm gonna name a few for you and you can kind of decide what you think is best. However, when I'm looking at them, one really does stand out from the rest. So maybe I'll do that one first. So the Inglot 4SS. This is incredible. Basically, I use all of these brushes for the same thing, but it's for hitting the tops of the cheekbones with that highlight color. And I want a really tailored brush to be able to do that, but I don't want it so tiny that it disperses too much, and I don't want it too wide that it actually goes over the blush. So I'll list off the other ones that I really love. The Morphe M501, the Morphe R31, the Morphe M438. All of those are excellent for highlighting. You will not be disappointed with those beauties. When it comes to eyeshadow, for the most part, the main thing that I use on my eyes day to day is bronzer. I love the Marc Jacob 102 Tantric. I always use a domed brush and I really just love to rock that product in the crease of my eye just to like make me look alive and awake. And there's some brushes that I love using to do that. This one here with the dual fiber brush by MAC is great for actually just dispersing the transition color. So they all have their own use, and as you play with them, you'll really experience what they can all do. But if I were to choose two that are absolute must-haves, it would be the dual fiber brush from MAC. And then I would say it's great to have a blender brush. So the Morphe M502 is a great blender. I love to just use a bronzer. You just dip into the color and go right under the lash line. And it's just like a really pretty soft look that doesn't look too tailored or too specific. So when it comes to brow brushes, I usually use brow brushes obviously for powder products. I love using Anastasia's brow powders with the Brow Gal brow brush. When it comes to eyeshadow, there's one from MAC. I love packing on color and pigments with this. It also works really well to create the highlight in the actual tear duct of the eye. In terms of a different style flat brush, this is the Sigma Concealer, and it's amazing for applying concealer. So this brush is from Luxie Beauty, and it's actually a nose contouring brush. One side is actually made to create the structure, so to actually create the lines that you're gonna do on your nose to contour, and the other one is to blend it out. So last but not least, when it comes to creating a line or some sort of definition along your lash line, it's really great to have a very, very small pointer brush. I usually use brown or black shadows, and I just dust it along my lash line. And I find it creates that blown out eyeliner look that doesn't look too rigid like a liquid liner would look. It's the Morphe M515. And if you want more of a specific liner, you can always use an angle brush. This is also from Morphe, and you can dip into cake liners and create that winged liner look. That is my roundup of my absolute favorite ones that I reach to all the time. Hopefully that gets you started in terms of knowing how to use your brushes and what to use them for. Feel free to DM me, message me, let me know if you have any questions. I'd be happy to answer. And thank you guys so much for watching. See you again soon.